Hi everyone, I'm here today to talk about something that's been bothering me for a while now, and it's not necessarily a negative thing, but it could end up being one. And that's this one UK tour date thing that seems to be a thing in symphonic metal now. Now, I know that it's hard for symphonic metal bands to get any success in the UK. I understand that. As someone who has DJ'd rock music, the minute a song with a woman's voice that isn't Bring Me to Life by Evanescence comes on, people are like, what the hell's this? And seem to fear it or judge it. And there's obviously that huge consensus that if a band's got a woman at the front of that band, they're not really metal. And it seems to be such a popular opinion in the UK, unfortunately, that it's like everyone's avoiding us now. Epica did their UK tour. No, they didn't. They did their European tour, and within that, they had one UK tour date, London. Obviously, I went. I'm not stupid. I'm gonna go, but it's not an easy place for me to get to. Let's put it that way. And now Nightwish have just announced that they are only coming to London again, and yes, I have tickets. But it's very difficult, and if more and more bands keep doing this, I think I'm going to end up seeing a lot less than I would like to. And I just want to say to these bands, please don't forget about us. I know that it's hard to break the UK for bands like Epica, Nightwish, Within Temptation. Actually, Within Temptation seem to have done it quite well. And I know that symphonic metal is a hard genre in general to break through anywhere. But please don't forget about us. Please don't just do London every time. It's very expensive for me to get there, for one. And so if you want me to be able to afford to get there, it's the opposite end of the country. You can probably tell from my accent. It's nowhere near me whatsoever. It takes a full day for me to travel there. So I need to book off the day before, the day of the gig, and the day after, just to get there. And obviously I have to stay over, because public transport to anywhere outside London after a gig finishes is non-existent here in the UK. And I know I might be sounding first world problems, whiny bitch, but I just don't want symphonic metal to die off in the UK, and it kind of feels like that's what's going to happen, because if you're only going to do one tour date in London with all those issues, luckily for me, I have the funds to be able to do this. I'm pretty good at saving my money, and so when something like this comes along, I can afford it. But my two friends who I'm going with, one of them's a lot better off than the other, but one of my friends I'm going with has just bought herself a house, and so basically I've offered to buy her the ticket for her birthday, because she's one of my oldest, nearest and dearest friends, so it's not I'm going to fall out with her anytime soon. But it's difficult, and I just hope that these bands aren't going to stop touring here, because it feels that way. I mean, I know it's only two examples, but Nightwish are the big name of female-fronted symphonic metal. I mean, with Flora as well, they've reboosted who they are, and they've got a lot of new fans, and a lot of the old fans are coming back. Like me, for example, I didn't want to see him during the last tour until I heard that Flora was their lead singer, and it was too late by then when they'd come to the closest place to me, because it was the same week as when I saw Epica when they did their UK tour. And I can say from example, I understand why Epica did the one UK gig, because I went to the Manchester gig in their tour for Requiem for the Indifferent. Can't believe I just forgot the album, my favourite album. Anyways, and it was, I'm not going to lie, it was empty. I had full room all around me. I could windmill all over the place, and I was not smacking anyone. with my hair, and I've not got short hair. And year before, I had a lot longer hair than this, and it was still fine. Stop texting me, people. And so I can understand that Epicure aren't exactly like the most popular band to come into the UK, but don't Nightwish don't need to follow suit. They're huge, like they're a big deal, and the only reason that they're gonna maybe not sell as well doing this is because London is so hard for a lot of us who live up north to get to. Like I said, like it takes like a full day's travel, and public transport, it's just ridiculous sometimes. Like after about 11 o'clock, it pretty much only goes to like London and the places right next door to London. That's it. And it's expensive. It's very expensive. Public transport here in the UK is ridiculous. You know, luckily it's so far in advance that I can book a ticket in advance and save a lot of money that way. But yeah, it just upsets me, and I'm a bit worried that like Symphonic Metal's not going to come back to the UK and it's just going to die off, and I'm going to love all these bands, and the only way I'm going to see them is to go abroad. And that's even more ridiculous. So I guess this is kind of just like an open letter to all my favourite bands. Please don't abandon us. Please. Like, Within Temptation have just released a load of theatre tour dates. And none of them in the UK, but none of them were outside Europe anyway. So, I mean, I know we're technically in Europe, but we're not like in the big chunk of Europe. We're like the separate island. And I just want to say to you guys, please don't just do London when you come back, because they originally did the last tour that they did, which was for Hydra. Yes, Hydra. I'm sure it was the Hydra one. Anyways, one of the last two tours that I've seen, their only UK date was Brixton, which is London. And I was going to buy a ticket, and luckily, for whatever reason, I didn't end up getting one. And then they announced more shows, and I ended up going to Manchester, which isn't even that close to where I live, but it's so much closer than London. As you can, I don't know, if you know what English accents are, you can probably tell I'm from Yorkshire. And in Yorkshire, the only places really for like metal gigs the only place I've ever been to a metal gig here in Yorkshire is Leeds, and that was in the Cockpit, and that shut down. And I'm just a bit worried that like we're going to get left behind, because I mean, Within Temptation nearly only did the London thing. Luckily, they sold out of that gig and realised that they could expand and did do more dates. Yeah, so please, guys, don't abandon us. Please don't only just come to London. It's a bit of a nightmare, and I don't want Symphonic Metal to die out completely in the UK, and that's what it feels like it's doing. So yeah, that's it. Rant / open letter to my favourite band / little bit of heartbreak over. If you've got this far, you must be very like-minded. See you later.